Class 5, this is your video of social science on lesson number 10, Knowledge is Power. In this chapter, we are going to learn and understand the story of writing, the evolution of paper, and also we will learn about the art of printing and the Braille Script. So let's begin with our chapter. The story or necessity of writing started with the increased knowledge when it becomes very difficult to remember everything in mind. Early men did not know how to write. It took thousands of years to learn writing. Firstly, men used to paint on the exterior and interior walls of the caves they lived in. These writings include the pictures of animals and things. Many paintings have been found on the cave walls in France, Spain, and India. Nearly 5,000 of years ago, the earliest pictorial script was used in Egypt and Mesopotamia, and after that, same type of script started developing in China and Japan. Now, students, here the question arises: what are scripts? Uses of symbols led to the development of scripts. The word script means a system of writing. Different languages have different scripts. In India, from the period of Indus civilization, pictorial script was used with Brahmi script. The earliest form of writing was developed by Sumerians and was called the cuneiform. Cuneiform means a pen made by cutting a single straw of bamboo. Egyptians used a system of hieroglyphics in which symbols were written by drawing pictures. Now let's talk about the story of numbers. In early times, people used stones and small pebbles to count different things. Then they started counting numbers with their fingers. After a long time, the number system was invented by Indians. The numbers 1 to 9 and 0 are invented by Indians and are given the name Hinsa by Arabian traders, who finally spread these numbers to the rest of the world. The number 0 was invented by Aryabhatta, an ancient Indian scientist. The Chinese used the abacus for counting. Even today, the system of counting using fingers is prevalent. The Romans used 7 letters of their alphabet to write numbers. These were M for 1000, D for 500, C for 100, L for 50, X for 10, V is for 5, and I is for 1. The number system we use today called the Hindu-Arabic system. Now let's move to the origin of paper. In early times, the clay tablets were used for writing with the pointed tools, bark of birch tree or leaves of palm tree, or plates of copper were also used. Later, paper was discovered in Egypt and was called papyrus. It was made of reed skin. The papyrus plant was cultivated in the delta region of the Nile Valley. Its stalk or stem was cultivated and the central pith cut into thin strips. Then these strips were pressed and dried to form a smooth surface which can be used later on for writing. Now let's move to invention of printing press. At first, books were written by hand, but it was a very slow process and involved a lot of labor. Printing first came to be developed in China, where wooden blocks were used to print books. In 1450, John Gutenberg made metal molds of the letters of the alphabets. These were called types and their arrangement is called typesetting. Ink was applied to the typeset pages and pressed on paper to get impressions. Types could now be put together to make the page of a book with much faster and more easily. This method of printing books was now much more easier than the Chinese method using wooden blocks. After that, printing of books, newspapers and magazines became possible, and thus John Gutenberg made the revolution in the field of spreading knowledge. Now let's talk about Braille Script, or the script for the blind. Louis Braille invented the Braille Script for blind people. It consists of deeply engraved dots on paper, and blind person can read it by touching it with the help of their fingers. Today books and Braille typewriters are being used. So students, all these achievements help us to gain the education in a better way. It is the key to progress, and we should give importance to education. Thank you.